What's up, YouTube? My name's James and welcome back to my channel. The day has finally come. I finally found a pair of vintage Levi's. Let's get into it. These are my vintage Levi's 505. I believe they're from 1987. Today I want to talk to you about the fit, what I like about them, differences between the Levi's 501 and then the 505, and then the year and how I figured out what year they are. First things first, the 505s. So the 505 is going to be a kind of brother to the 501. The 505 is going to be the more relaxed fit to the 501. The 505 you're going to see it's a bit of a wider straight leg, where the 501 is going to be like a narrower straight leg. If you're more of an athletic build, I find that the 501 tends to be a little bit snug around my legs, where the 505 is kind of the perfect length. If you're looking for that skinny jean kind of vibe, then definitely go with the 501. If you're looking for more of a relaxed kind of wear with a pair of Birkenstocks, then the 505 is a great option. Then the next thing that big difference between the two is you're gonna see the 501 is gonna have a button fly, or the vintage 501s are gonna have the button fly, where this is gonna have a zip fly, and then you're gonna see that they're not gonna be salvaged. So they use like different part of the material for the jeans. So you're not gonna get the salvage edge or anything like that, but you're still gonna get the same level of quality with them. I personally like the 505 because I'm a bit more of an athletic build and I like to have my stuff cuffed. So what I'll do is I'll cuff it once and kind of do a crop look on my jeans. The 505 is a perfect fit for that because it's still that more relaxed fit. And I think it's just a great option for somebody like, again, is a bit more athletic. I love these jeans in particular because the fading on them is actually really like light, but also there's still a lot of like color and dimension within the denim. So you'll see that you're seeing the rippling from the jean from when the person wore it quite a bit, and then it fades down into the knee. And the nice thing is the knee is actually in the same area with the knee as me. So the last pair of Levi's that I had, they were not vintage and I had to cut the bottom of them because they were a bit long. These are perfect, so I can still take advantage of this beautiful chain stitch kind of twist that it gave. And that's something to me that was really important about a vintage pair of Levi's, is getting that natural patina from the pant. I just think it's such a great, you'll see that the, like even where like the crease was where it faded, you'll see like right here. Just such an awesome pair of pants that are just, you know, truly made from a different era of Levi's where quality was more important than quantity. Let's get into how I know that they are vintage. First things first is everything that is vintage is going to be over 20 years old. So if you're looking at a garment and it's under 20 years old, it's not considered vintage. That's why my jeans that I previously had were not vintage, because they were like 15, 18 years old. These are much older than that. The first things first is to get an idea of like the general age standpoint. So first things first is I know that they're not from the 70s or the early 70s, because the tab itself is a small E red tab. So in 1973 to 1974, they transitioned from a big E. So you'll see that the thing had like a Levi's big E to a Levi's small E. That's the biggest thing, is from 1973-ish to now, they're all small E denim. Next thing is I go into the patch. So if you look at the patch, and you still have the ability, back in the day they used like a paper patch. So in like, I believe in the late 70s, 80s, they used a paper patch. So this paper patch right here would fall off. If you still have the paper patch, you'll notice that it says Made in USA. It's right above like the width and the length right here. So you'll see that. So now I know that in 2002, Levi's stopped making denim in the United States. They transitioned all of their US denim manufacturing to China, Honduras, all these other places as well. And they got rid of the Made in America tab. So now I know that my jeans are from 1974, 1973-ish to 2002. So that leaves me a pretty good gap. The next thing is, and this is gonna be probably the easiest way to know that your jeans are gonna be vintage, is you go into the hang tags. So first things first is if it's got this hang tag right here where it says like straight fit 501 and everything like that, those are gonna be like neo vintage. I believe those are from like 2000 to 2005. So those are not really vintage, can kind of be considered vintage at that point, but the quality is not great. They're still in that kind of fast fashion ideal. Then if you see the patch like right here, and it's like that silky look, those are not vintage at all. Those are from 2005 and up. This doesn't have it, so we're on the right track. Then when you get into the older Levi's, it's gonna be inside right near the seam. So you'll see right here that they have this patch. And based off of this patch, what I used, there's a number of different websites, but I went on the subreddit Vintage Levi's and I just sent some pictures and the people were kind enough to help me. So you'll see this part right here. And then if you flip it up on the back of the care tag, it'll tell you the dimensions and it'll tell you like the wear and everything of this pant. So this is gonna tell me like the year, the manufacturer, whether it was done in December. I don't know how to read it. That's why I defaulted to the subreddit guys. Based off of this patch though, I was able to look on the website and I knew that this is a pair from 1985 to 1988. And I knew that they're vintage. So made in America, the patches, everything was kind of checking out. And so I know that I have a vintage pair. So these are, again, my vintage Levi's 505. I'm very excited about these. I think they're a great pair of pants. So I refuse to like buy them on eBay yet. I wanted the idea of going out and hunting and finding them myself. I typically go to a vintage store near us or it's more of a thrift store near us. It's called Village Discount. So Village Discount is gonna be like a true secondhand thrift store kind of deal. So you go in there and they're gonna have old shoes, like just a bunch of stuff that doesn't interest me. You know, they've got plates, they've got everything you could think of into that store, they're gonna have. I walked into there, I couldn't really find anything, and that's a store that I've been going to for quite a while and just haven't really been cutting out. I've found a few vintage kind of t-shirts that I showed you in the last video, and then I found a vintage military jacket, which is really nice as well. But you go in there and 9 times out of 10 you don't find anything. A few days ago we were celebrating Victoria's birthday and we were walking to a restaurant near us. It was about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile away. So as we were walking, we walked by a store. This is a more curated kind of store that I don't really love going into because it feels like it's too kitschy. They're not gonna have a lot of the stuff that is really interesting to me based off of the style that I have. But I went in there, it's called Buffalo Exchange. So Buffalo Exchange was on the way, we were early, and I walk in and you know, I go right to the denim and I'm kind of sifting through, going through this. And I found a bunch of orange tab stuff, but it wasn't my size. And I'm of the nature that if I buy it and I'm not gonna wear it, then I'm not here to resell stuff. Let some other dude who's excited kind of get the size 29 that'll fit their waist and so on and so forth. So I'm scrolling through and I found these 505s. So these are a 35 by 30. I was a little skeptical about the size, but the one thing that's nice about this, because it's more of like a store, is they let you try it on and everything was perfect. Just the size was right, the length was right, the width was right. Everything about these was just such a perfect size. Oh, I got them. They're amazing. They were $30. A bit more expensive. If I bought them at Village Discount, they'd be like $9 or $7. I'm willing to pay up to know that I have them and they're clean and just all the due diligence that they went through. I'm very happy about them. I'm finally got my pair of vintage Levi's. That's it, you guys. I went over the jeans, you know the year, you know the price, you know everything that I went through for them. Tune in next week because I've got an exciting thing that I also found there that I do want to share with you. But again, my name's James. Thank you for coming. Make sure you like and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.